When I read the Western philosophy, I couldn't completely understand the continental school of philosophy. I read a lot from the beginning, from the early period of philosophy till the contemporary thought. So I couldn't really grasp the ideas and the concept that have been given by the continental philosophers, mainly two philosophers, Jacques Derrida and Michel Foucault. As a teacher, that time I had to teach Jacques Derrida for the MA classes, but I couldn't even understand. Then before teaching, what I did was that I met a scholar who is available in Mysore. His name is Professor T.R. Sharma. He is in 90s now, but he is very much committed to read and write, and even today he practices reading and writing. So I struggled a lot to understand Jacques Derrida and Michel Foucault, who belong to the continental school of philosophy. So continental philosophy means a philosophical thought that emerged in three countries, Germany, Italy and France. This continental school of philosophy mainly discusses on language analysis, discourse analysis, a knowledge system, and of course meta-narratives or grand narratives. So these two philosophers, Michel Foucault and Jacques Derrida, belong to post-structuralism school of philosophy. So post-structuralism means what? Post-structuralism is also called as postmodernism. Postmodernism is also called as post-colonialism. Post-structuralism is a school of idea that emerged after 20 years or some years of structuralism. So structuralist philosophers like Cesar and of course Barthes is in the beginning. So Roland Barthes. So these two post-structuralist philosophers have mainly discussed about language, discourse and knowledge system and power structure and of course signified. So come to the point, Jacques Derrida. Jacques Derrida is one of the most influential philosopher of the 20th century. So Jacques Derrida has written very influential books like of grammatology and writing indifference and the margins of philosophy. Very, very influential and very important for people who are interested in literature and philosophy. What Derrida says that language is always unstable, there is no fixed meaning at all. So there is no fixed meaning, language is always fluctuating and always. Language is a kind of an artificial invention of the man. So he rejects the idea that there is a fixed meaning, there is a stable meaning in the language. So when you read a text, so the meaning is always changing, there is no fixed meaning at all. You don't have to go back to the writer and go to the publisher asking the meaning and why did they write it, what is the meaning of the book they wrote. So the text is open and you have got the responsibility to construct the meaning, and you have got the freedom to read. That when the text is open to you, that is open to you, and it is your choice to construct the meaning. So text is always what do we say? There will be different signs, there will be different meaning, and we have got our freedom and we have got the time to play with the text, play with the signs. There will be a chain of signified and a constant moving meanings like that. So that's what Derrida says in one of his essays, that there is nothing outside the text, everything is inside the text. You don't have to go and see outside the textbook what is there. So within that you have got to construct the meaning. And of course also he attacks the binary opposition. He says that binary oppositions like signified and the signified. So for example, there is a center and the margin. So you cannot favor the center over the margin. You cannot favor any gender over men and women and rich and poor and other things like that. So binaries are always analyzed by Derrida very seriously. So binary opposition, in one of the books by Cesar, he talks about the binary opposition, and also Levi-Strauss in structural anthropology, he also talks about the binaries. So Derrida discusses about these binaries. So always changing, and there is no stability in the meaning of the text or anything. So this is what Derrida concept is all about. So you must read Derrida books on language and yes, meaning, then you can easily understand. Now come to Michel Foucault. Michel Foucault is also one of the formidable figures of the continental school of philosophy, or you can say post-structuralism. So Michel Foucault has also written very interesting books like The History of Sexuality. It has 3 volumes. All the books are very interesting and influential and important. And the second book is The Archaeology of Knowledge. The Archaeology of Knowledge by Michel Foucault. This is also one of the most important and interesting books. And he also provides the discourse on language. So when I couldn't understand Michel Foucault, when I met Dr. T.R. Sharma, he offered this book to me. And I read it, of course, many times. Very interesting and very influential book. So one must read it before dealing with Michel Foucault, either in teaching or practicing reading or anything. So Michel Foucault, what he analyzes is, he analyzes the discourse. Discourse means knowledge. He says that knowledge and power are interconnected. You know, power creates the knowledge and knowledge creates the power. And also power gives shapes to the knowledge. So both are interconnected and interlinked. This is what Michel Foucault talks about. Foucault also rejects the idea of meta-narrative. He criticizes grand narratives. He says that grand narratives are always manipulative, and also, you know, you cannot impose any idea on anything, you know. So there are so many small narratives that are in need of notice, and you cannot impose any grand narratives and universal truth on one thing. So this is what Michel Foucault and Derrida discuss in their books and works. So in future videos, in further videos, I will be discussing individually about these 2 writers and their books and what they have written about. So, and also it is very interesting that reading is very important. I would always say people that they should keep reading. Reading is eroding these days, and one must read. Thank you.